Hello and welcome, guys. This is for the Acer Teamstory Cup 2013 European Qualifier Edition, and here we are with what is potentially the last game between mYi and Meet Your Makers. As Tarson started this day off strong, leading into Dana's current victory over his last opponent, Ares. Now, to explain, guys, you're gonna be like, "Whoa, what's Krolu doing back here?" I'm not quite sure the exact details of the rule, but I think it's like when you're on the ace match or you're losing match or something, you can resurrect one player to come back and try and win it all. So looks like Meet Your Makers has in fact resurrected Krolu. But with all that mumbo jumbo aside, let's get into introducing the players. Spawning here in the top right corner of Daybreak, it is the Red Zerg playing for mYi. It is Dana.
And his opponent, as accurately stated, the ace player for Meet Your Makers, coming back as the Blue Protoss, it is Krolu.
Now, this is ZVP, Baldy, and part of me really wants to see something new and exciting and crazy, but I got this in the pit of my stomach. I feel we're going to see a Forge Fast expand with the pylon out here. So, it makes me... I don't know.
Do you reckon we'll see Stargate earlier, though, like with some Oracle Harass and all that fun stuff?
That would be fun, absolutely, and it would make me feel so much better. But like these sort of builds, again, they're so strong and they're still good. But it's like, guys, come on, this isn't Wings of Liberty anymore. You can start doing some funky stuff. Hell, like when you're in this desperate of a situation, 2-gate proxy. I mean, something, right? Just to make it shake it up. But yeah, Krolu definitely a player who is capable of doing very many strategies. As stated last, I mean, I haven't seen him play a lot recently, but in Wings of Liberty, you know, he was doing a lot of Zotacs. You'd see him all over the place, and he is just a scary Protoss player.
True. Well, you got your wish. Oh, Jakes.
Damn it.
Expand. A little bit of harass here at the natural. Crowley's got to be careful not to lose probe, but
I want to talk about. So, okay, for those who don't know, this basically means for the next 6 minutes, nothing's really going to happen. So I'm going to start filling some gaps here with story time. And one of my coolest things... Oh, Krolu actually hiding his probe here. This could be pretty cool on its own. We'll have to wait and see. But one of the coolest... There's two really cool strategies I've seen Zerg versus Protoss in Heart of the Swarm right now. One of them, I'm going to groan and moan about because... playing random on the ladder, when I get Protoss, I've been beaten by Mass Queen on several different accounts. It's a silly strategy. There's several Masters players I see use it. Hell, freaking Sase, for whatever reason, was playing Zerg on a stream one day, and he was using it. It's a funky build. The amount of transfuses you get, the actual DPS of Queens is not too bad. It's really funny to see in action. I doubt we'll see that here today, but it'd be pretty cool. The other one, and this is my favorite one, I first saw this in the After Hours Gaming League. This is an amateur gaming league, to say the least. And because it's an amateur league, you get to see players experiment with builds a lot more. And one of my favorite ones was this sort of 2-base swarm host push with Nidus Canal, no less. And basically, yeah, you have the Nidus Canal come up with only, I don't know, 3 or 4 swarm hosts, right? But you put queens in and drones with it to build spore crawlers so that there's no way an observer can get close enough to detect them.
Yeah, I remember seeing you cast with, I think it was Penguin, one of those games.
It was pretty fun to watch. And it's something that's not even too... It's definitely an all-in build, but it's like something that's not out of the question for players to start adapting to these weird, funny builds, because you can start catching pros off guard with them. Meanwhile, Krolu, I gotta say, I'm waiting for him to catch Dana off guard, as this probe is still sneakily hiding up here. If he gets a pylon down and starts warping in, this could be some big trouble for Dana.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Like, he's not going to see it. Even with a pylon down, Dana's not going to see it unless he moves, like, unless he builds, like, a roach warren to the right or something like that. But he doesn't have any gas right now, so that's not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, typically you'll have players take the gases at the natural even before they take them at the main, so this is, I don't know, Baldy, this is really weird. I'm really excited to see how this pans out. Of course, most likely this probe will just get found and squashed and nothing will come of it, but the hope, the dreams of the casters are still there.
Yeah. I mean, it's something that, like, maybe Crowley's even forgotten about it and be like, oh wait, like in 2 minutes time, like, oh wait, I got a probe here, no worries.
Yeah, why have an idle worker? Where's my idle worker? Oh yeah.
Well, we do have some more gates being put down, so he's not going for like any super fast Stargate or anything, but we'll see. He's going to reveal his tech relatively soon and what kind of tech path he's going.
Well, the +1 upgrades will play really nice into whatever it is he plans to do. I mean, whether it's a Sentry Immortal all-in, whether it's just a ton of gateway units, either way, that +1 is going to make a big difference when it comes to fighting Zerglings.
Zealot does get taken down. It's really that's notable things happen so
That
far in
warp
this.
gate is nearing completion though, and I'm really there's the pylon starting here in the base.
Woohoo!
I mean, actually, it's kind of funny when you think about it, people will shuttle, warp prism in some sentries to block off that ramp, and then leave the warp prism there to continue warping reinforcements. You can do that with this pylon. If Dana can get some sentries up here, hell, even just zealots to work in the mineral line, he can do a ton of damage.
We'll see what he's got in store. He has 3 zealots.
Zealots.
Looks like he's just going to try and do some harassment on the line. I would love to wait him for another round, like wait for 4 more units.
It's
and
one of
then
those
go
things.
in.
Yeah, you just don't want to show your hand too early, but Krolu is going to get scouted by these overlords. So the jig is up, and here he goes into the mineral line. How many workers will go down? Dana with a very quick response, actually. Krolu, though, continuing to reinforce with more zealots, and without speed complete, and no roaches just yet on the field, this is going to be very hard to deal with.
Zergling's going to town on this pylon, trying to kill it. The Zealot's going to have none of that. Like
Queen.
you said, we have +1 for the Zealots, so they're
Oh,
ripping
the Queen
through
went
these
down.
Zerglings.
If those roaches didn't pop, they could have potentially got the spawning pool as well, but these roaches...
Oh my god, these Lings gone down so quickly.
Yeah, but roaches on creep should be able to kite these zealots all day, and I'd like to see Krolu just focus the spawning pool, cancel out that speed, but he doesn't have time now.
And he's,
Sentries.
yeah, let's do it behind. Nice.
Nice. Roaches are going to get trapped in, but there's more of them behind this. But Krolu, I don't know. He's still down in supply quite significantly. He hasn't actually got that many workers. He got the Queen, and really that was about it.
Yeah, really just traded army for army there.
I mean, some great tactics. There's no way that could be classified as going poorly for him, but he didn't cause the damage he needed to do to really cripple Dana. Meanwhile, going for Phoenix builds behind this, I don't know. This could be a little funky because the power of a Phoenix is like the timing in which it hits, right? Like when you've got 5 Phoenixes in your opponent's base at the 9-minute mark, well, we're going to be a little over a minute by the late for when that happens.
Do you feel like if Krolu went for some sentries initially and force fielded the drones in, that could have been something?
Maybe not even force fielding them in, but keeping the roaches from reinforcing from the natural. I mean, there was only 4 that came from that main hatchery, and he killed one of them right away. So potentially that could have gone differently. I don't know. It's hard to make that decision.
Yeah. Either way, it was a nice attack there. No way was it like a, oh my god, I lost everything for nothing kind of thing. So
You know
we'll have
what
to
we
see.
should do? We should do the take command thing after this is done and see what happens.
No, we'll play it. I actually forgot about that.
Oh, but Dana coming in hard at the front here. The Cyber Core very exposed. Something Rifkin's not a fan of, if you've seen me cast before.
I know you're not a fan of that.
Well, the Mothership Core can Photon Overcharge the Nexus in a little bit, but not yet. It doesn't have the energy for it. So, I mean, Krulu's going to just take some losses here.
No Stalkers out on the field.
And picking up a couple of roaches with these the Phoenixes, but I mean, oh well. You know, I think as a Zerg player, you'd rather lose these roaches than workers or even a Queen.
Yeah, for sure. The Spore Crawl is about to complete, so they'll have a decent defense. Dana, that is, decent defense to deal with this. Also a 4th base on the way for Dana, so I do like this. The 3rd base now being established for Krolu, and we all know 3-base Protoss, if they can keep that established and put some pressure on the 3rd and 4th bases of Zerg, then you can get some pretty brutal forces coming through.
Definitely, and he's also got the upgrades, let's not forget. I mean, he's got +2 on the way, whereas Dana's only just starting his +1. Meanwhile, some Phoenixes continue with their harassment.
Get to the Spore Crawler.
Yeah, that's what's so funny about the Spore Crawler, though. Like, jokes aside, I mean, they do a great job at killing stationary units, but Phoenixes are so fast. They get in and they get out before damage is really done.
Yeah. Could he do a time? Yeah, no need. I was going to say he might even do a time warp, but no need. He's got enough DPS here that these roaches will get taken out.
Yeah, Krulu going to secure his 3rd for the time being, but Dana is on 4 bases. And I mean, that's the thing. He's playing Zerg right. He's staying ahead of the game, but he's got to be careful here. Nice cancel on that Graviton pickup. Or sorry, Graviton Beam. Ooh, same thing. Because he does not want to lose these to these Hydralisks, not this early. I mean, Phoenixes, they're like your Beetleists, right? Like, you get in with some harass, you do a bit of damage, and you get out. And you need to keep them alive to make them scary. But if they die this early, he's going to really lack that for later on.
Yeah. It's actually kind of a concerning attack from Dana because there's no Colossi out on the field. There is one on the way, but there's not a huge amount. I mean, the time warp is definitely going to come into play. Oh, no, there we go. Forgot about that. Good old Nexus Cannon.
Well, it gets one of the Hydralisks, not too bad. Phoenix is coming in to lift up a couple more while these Zealots come from behind, but I fear that there might not be enough Protoss units here. The sheer numbers of Dana might just overwhelm this force. I mean, the Immortals are here. They're going to do a ton of damage to the Roaches, but There's not much here to deal with the Hydras. If Zealots had charge, different story.
He wants to come back into this Nexus in range of it. Nice. Time warp there.
Yeah, Time Warp in the
better,
force
but-
fields did not allow him to catch as many units as perhaps should have been, but...
How long does this last for? 60 seconds. That's actually quite a long time. The cannon.
Oh, yeah, I was looking at the force fields, or the Time Warp, I was like, no way! But this Colossus without that extended thermal lance is going to be met with the range of the
Oh my god,
Hydralisks.
that forge went down instantly.
Yeah, we got some nice force coming out of Krolu though, but this Colossus again exposed, he can't afford to lose this.
Krolu actually doing a decent job given the circumstances, given how much Dana actually committed to this. Look at the units lost. Now that's completely flipped in the favor of Protoss. But
Well, let's not forget,
equally
Krolu...
the expansion's coming down for Dana.
Oh, absolutely, but let's not forget too, like, Krulu's playing probably about 10 times harder than Dana is, because he is the last hope of his team. If he goes down, that's it. MYI takes it and advances forward, but Dana, you know, he can lose... Hell, I think MYI can lose 2 or 3 games before they're in that situation.
Ooh, we have Vipers.
I like this choice a lot, Baldy. Forget the Blinding
Get those
Cloud.
Colossi.
Yeah, it's all about the grabs. Blinding Clouds, though, they're pretty cool. They work like force fields. They really zone out where your opponent can be. So they can be quite effective, but between Blink and between the Colossi, grabs, I think, are going to be the better choice.
I do love me some grabs. Could be taken out of context, but
I want to replace, like, the sound file for, like, you know, the Pudge hook. Like, get over here, fresh meat.
that was pretty funny.
Alright, well,
Alright, we're
almost
out.
had a big engage there. Dana's got a nice split, though. And he's definitely got the supply to take this fight. Like, even if he loses this, look at his bank. I mean, he's going to make a ton of roaches to back this up.
Yeah. At the third base, we have the Vipers getting that juicy energy from the extra evolution chambers.
Yeah, I've seen players like Idra put as many as 5 Evo chambers on the field just to start farming for the Vipers.
Yeah.
But one thing I want to point out here is Krulu, he's starting to get the double Stargates. He's going to have Void Rays out.
Incredibly,
And the thing
actually.
that's so
What is
silly-
he doing with the mothership core? Ooh.
Well, the thing that's so silly is, like, there's this, you know, okay, it's the Protoss Death Ball, right? Like, everyone knows what that is, but the Void Ray Colossus combination is so absurd. So many, like, top-tier Zerg players are having troubles with this.
Well, I think we might be having engagement soon.
Yeah, we need to get some
Where are
good
they?
grabs.
Where are they?
Viper's coming
Grabs.
in.
Right.
Gets one of them.
Oh,
Very
nice.
nicely gets 2 of them. Even better. And Krulu can't afford to lose his third Colossus. He needs it to deal with the... Oh my god, the Hydra's kill it instantly, Baldy.
Love it. Love it.
Yeah, Time Warp doing what it can. So the force field zoning out most of the army, but Krulu, without that Colossus, Baldy, I don't know. I can't see him really taking on another fight.
I find it funny how you can slow down a replay.
Yeah, I saw that too, and it's like, the thing is, I didn't even start dropping too many frames there, so I don't... Like, normally, you know, you're on 1 FPS when you get that message.
Yeah. Well, I mean, overall, that fight, without those Colossi, it completely changed the way that fight went. Really does show the power of these Vipers. He did lose 2 in the process, but he still has 1 up.
Yeah, he wants to get this last Colossus with it. Can he grab it? There it is, and it's going to go down immediately again. And now Krulu, he's in a lot of danger from these Hydralisks. He doesn't have a lot that can deal with them. I mean, he's going to clean up the roaches with the Immortals, no problem. But it's this Hydra DPS, Baldy.
It's getting pretty crazy. They are 2-2, so they're doing a significant amount of damage.
I feel this might just be a little
know
too
what
much.
Krulu can do right now. He's lost all of his heavy hitters in the Immortals and the Colossi due to those Vipers
Well,
and
the thing-
focus firing.
The thing that's silly behind this is you look at the upgrades right now for Dana. Okay, you clean up my Roach Hydra, clean up my second wave of Roach Hydra, I'll just do an Ultralisk swap. I'll do a Zergling swap, you know?
Yeah.
He's got Greater Spire even coming on the way. He can do whatever he wants. Dana is completely in control of this game at this point. I mean, this is getting really scary for Krulu. Because again, the Colossus, it's only got 1 of them. There's no more Vipers, mind you, but 3 or more are coming out. And as we saw, Vipers kind of cancel out the effect of the Colossus.
Yeah. I was like, oh, you spent all this money and gas and time getting this? Yoink, dead.
I feel like Krulu should really have Zealot charge at this point in the game with how many he constantly reinforces with. Stalkers are great units, don't get me wrong, but Zealots are going to shred everything here if they could just connect to them. But right now they're just being simply used for meat shields. Baldy, I gotta point out, look at Dana's bank right now.
Yeah.
It's just
Pretty
nasty.
good.
6 bases.
Pretty good. Yeah, down to 3 base for Crowley, and you look the natural is for Krolu. He's only on like 250 or so minerals per patch, so he's going to be mined out there relatively soon as
Main's
well.
pretty much gone too. So yeah, it's getting close to being 1.5 and soon 1 base versus 6 of Dana.
And we have some Vipers now. Yoink!
The range on that grab is so silly. And
So good.
the really cool thing here too, a lot of people don't know this, like even if you kill that Viper, as long as it's initiated the grab, it will still pull
really?
the unit. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
As long as it's connected its tongue thing, even if it dies, it will still ricochet the unit back to where the location of the Viper was. So they're pretty good units.
Ooh,
Some nice blinding clouds as well. Look at
that's
this.
really nice.
Krolu can't even take that fight. But this is what's great. We saw force fields go down to zone out Dana. Well, Dana put down some blinding clouds to zone out Krolu. That's the effect of the blinding cloud.
Yeah, you see those Stalkers now without that range, they automatically go into melee range of everything. Another Colossi out.
Some
Now all of
beautiful
the
blink
energy has
micro.
been taken, but I think there's just so much here, Rifkin.
Yeah, this is just looking overpowering some other Krolu. I mean, he's got some amazing blink micro going on. It's just not enough though, Baldy. And with this last Colossus going down, that's pretty much it. Night Ultra. Yeah. Well played. So My Insanity going to advance to the first round and go on to fight, I believe, FXO.